One of the things I always like to ask another podcaster, especially, for anybody out there that's considering starting a podcast, what are some of the, I guess you could say, things that, might have had your podcast start off kind of slow? You may not have had as many guests as you intended, or, maybe you didn't have enough time. Like, what are some of the obstacles that you had to overcome starting a podcast?
My main thing was trying to figure everything out by myself and getting the right materials. So I'm looking at two of my mics right there. Was a compression mic. I had like a old, well, not old laptop, but didn't know all the basics. Like I didn't have no interface, material, anything like that. It was just pretty much a mic, my software, which was Mixcraft 5. So I learned that back and front. Then I start saying, all right, let me see what I can do as far as taking stuff off YouTube, like viral clips, like he needs some milk, that type of stuff. So, I started there. Then I start tagging my friends along. I'm like, yo, let's just be on my first podcast. My first podcast, I had my best friend at the time, just have him on. Then the next one, I had my other friend on, and then I just start trickling from there. I already knew some rappers already. I already knew people that was doing music already, from all over the United States. Mr. High Def. From there, then he just pretty much said, "Oh, let's do a playlist," and I'm like, "Fuck is a playlist?" Because I'm just so like focused on, like, how can I just put this out there? Then trying to get the right artwork. Didn't know how to do artwork at the time, so I had a couple. I was just reaching out to everybody. The difficult part about it is not paying attention to likes so much, because at the time I was just putting my stuff on SoundCloud. I didn't want nobody to see my face. I just wanted to say, all right, let me put this audio because it's more therapeutic more than anything else.
Yeah.
So putting your voice out there, having people that, well, it starts off with you saying, yeah, listen to my podcast. So you just send it to people that you just looking for, you know, gratification from, if that makes sense. So, you're just looking at it from a standpoint like, all right, I'm going to send this to my cousin. I know he going to mess with it. Then it comes to the point that you like everybody's saying the same thing. But then I say, did you listen to this part that I said this in? And then it's like, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, I didn't say that in this podcast. So then you find out people lying. So then you say, all right, let me go to some strangers. So I just start putting on Twitter, things of that nature. I think most people run into the difficulties is if I put something out because my friends say I'm funny, or this goes for anything. This goes for music. This goes for being a comedian, all types of stuff, where you want to look for people that's just going to pat you on your back instead of just telling you, oh, I mess with it, but, you know, I didn't like how you stuttered or whatever the case may be. So to answer the question, yeah, the first couple podcasts it was like a high and low type of thing. And that's when I knew about the hashtags and stuff like that. At the time when I first started my first podcast, it was the Birdman situation where he came in Breakfast Club and said,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say it no more,
Mhm.
you know, and that type of thing. So that was funny. And then I just said, oh, all right, so I got like at least 90 listens to that. So after a while, that's when you start, keep on going from there. That's pretty much the struggles of first building a podcast. It's just putting yourself out there and just keeping your head down.